From New York, it's Saturday night. Always wanted to do that.
Okay, so let's go through. Today we're going to go through kind of what we do as a company, where we started, how we got where we're at, kind of a, what do we want to call it? An introduction. Let's call it an introduction.
It's a good place to start.
It usually is at the beginning.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, I'm Daniel with AKL Security Solutions. This is Josh. He is our customer service representative, newly formed role or
You say like 2 weeks.
job role. Yeah, how are you liking it?
It's great.
Okay, that's cool.
I think it's fun.
I think you're doing a great job at it. So
That's all I needed.
yeah. Well, now we can go home. All right, see you.
Bye.
All right, who we are. Let's see here. We were founded in 1978. We've got over 40 years of experience, which really just means we've been open for 40 years. And 100 years among us. So, I think Linda's got 38 of those years. Bruce has got, what, how many years?
Probably 80.
Okay, fair enough. So what are we doing? We are becoming a full spectrum security company. So what that means is we started out as locksmiths 40 years ago in 78, as you can see. But what we've slowly done is integrated access control. We've integrated video surveillance. Those are the two things that we've really integrated into the company as far as adding services. But we also do, like life safety stuff. We do doors. We actually replace doors and frames. And where we're going, I don't know if you can see that, but it says to infinity and beyond. The goal is to just keep going and keep adding services, and whatever the customer needs is whatever we will do to help make them secure. So what we do best, access control. We are doing IP-based access control. So what that means is the card access at your door, so you can get in with a card, fob, even your phone nowadays, but it's all IP-based. So that means it's over the internet, it's over your network, and it's really slick, really easy to use, and it's accessible from anywhere, programmable from anywhere. Next thing is commercial locksmithing. We've been doing this is our bread and butter, so we've been doing this for 40 years. This is where we started 40 years ago. That's kind of where you started in the showroom, was just doing the locksmithing. Life safety. So this has to do with exit bars, panic hardware, door closers, hinges, pivots, pull handles, basically everything that's attached to the door that isn't the lock. Safe and vault. So we open safes, we move safes, we work on safes, we refurbish safes. That's a lot of what we do with safes. And then video surveillance. So we've got new integrations coming up. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But we do video surveillance. We integrate that with the access control, so you can have one platform to manage it all.
One ring to rule them all.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll go with a Lord of the Rings.
That's better for like.
Is that a Lord of the Rings thing?
Yeah.
I never saw the movie, so.
Yeah, but that's probably better for describing a master key, the top master key.
One key to rule them all.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so access control. We are certified with PDK. We're certified with ISONAS. you're actually in the middle of taking the PDK training.
Yep.
Right now.
There's a few more videos.
How far along are you?
The first one.
Okay. Well, I mean, you did just get started, what, a couple days ago?
It was yesterday.
Oh, well, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Why am I sitting here complaining?
I didn't feel that I was complaining.
Okay, well, whatever. I giggled. that was my complaint giggle.
One video.
So, benefits of IP-based access control. It's lightning fast. Like I said, it works on your network. So, yeah.
Works on your network.
Here you go.
This plugs in somewhere. You can find
Here,
it.
this works on your network. No, anyway, so lightning fast. So it works on your network. That means there's no latency with like trying to run reports. That you can get live updates at the blink of an eye, click of a button, whatever. You can see like what a real time. You can see real time what's happening at your doors and what's happening at your business. Less infrastructure. With IP based, like I said, it works over your network, so there's less hardware that you got to buy. Before it was all panel based, so you would have a panel, you'd have a communicator, then you'd have your typical reader and strikes and all that good stuff. But now everything's IP based and it almost plugs right into your network. And a lot of it, you can talk wirelessly to it. So there's just less stuff you got to buy, less stuff that you got to have and maintain and keep tabs on and stuff like that.
Almost all of it ties back into one spot.
It all ties back into one spot on your network. You can access it remotely. You can manage it centrally from one place. So from a single app or a single software, there's no other softwares that you got to buy to make it work. So modern technology. So wireless communications, Bluetooth credentials. PDK uses wireless, so you can have like one box up on the wall or in the IT closet or something, and it will talk to wireless controllers throughout the building, and it uses like a Zigbee communication to do that. Bluetooth credentials means you can use your smartphone to replace your card, replace the fob, replace whatever you may be using to get into that door, replace your key for sure. And the best part about Bluetooth credentials, and a lot of businesses are actually moving to Bluetooth credentials because when you're hired, I need to give you a card. So here's your card, and then you lose that card. That's the best thing ever.
Another, please.
That's exactly right. I have to give you another card so you can lose that one. That one literally went in the trash can.
That's
amazing.
5 points.
Guess
the other one was close.
So anyway, as the employees lose cards, it's up to the employer to hand the employee more cards. And the best part about the Bluetooth technology is that if I lose my phone, it's up to me to get a new phone, and then I just re-download the app. The employer can just turn off the phone, like deactivate the phone, and then reactivate the phone, or reactivate the new phone. So moving on to locksmithing, we're going to talk a little bit about master keying. And this is what you're a lot familiar with, or you're familiar with more than the access control necessarily.
It's my comfort zone.
It's your comfort zone. So your bread and butter.
Good old keys.
So master key system, it can be role based. Just like access control, I give you a card. I give you this card, and that only gets you in the doors that I want it to. So with a master key system, you can do the same thing.
Yes.
And so tell me, so I can give you a key, and if we set up the master key system right, I can give you a key. That only allows you into the doors that I want you to get in.
Yeah.
Obviously. but the only thing is that I can't track when you came in.
No tracking, unless you get certain keyways. Some you'll be able to go anywhere and get a copy.
Oh,
So you're
well, that's
not
a whole
always-
other thing. I can't do reporting on when you came into that specific door.
Yeah,
So, but yeah.
unless you got someone out front with a notebook and they're writing down who's coming in.
Well, yeah. That brings back the doorman.
We need a doorman. This is starting to sound like an investment we need to make.
So master key systems are a lot more cost effective. And honestly, it's getting less and less cost effective because the price of access control is coming down and down every day. But there are still businesses that don't need a electronic access control system. A master key system would do just fine.
And I mean, that's where this all comes in. Any choice you make is based off of solely your needs.
Yeah.
And then if you want something a little bit extra, you can always step up your game, I guess. But solely just your needs.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to need a business with front and back door unless it's constant traffic coming through and you've got 300 employees. I mean, you can get away with some keys.
Yeah. Yeah, really. I mean, once you get into like a lot of employees, or if you get into a lot of turnover. So if you're running a business and there's a lot of turnover in your business, and just some businesses are built that way. Restaurants, for one. I know like restaurants that go through hostesses, they go through servers and cooks and line cooks and stuff like that. Access control is actually not a bad option for that kind of situation, especially if you've got multiple locations where the hostess might work in, the Barbersville, location, and then the next week she's working in Huntington or something. So her card would get in, yeah. Or you could do keys too that way, but it all goes back to, how much turnover do you have to warrant access control?
It'd have to be a decent number for a small building.
Yeah, for a business like us, it doesn't. We would technically not need it, or a business our size would technically not need it.
Yeah.
And a master key system is all we need, which is what we got. So, and actually, a master key system is scalable, so we can make the master key system as big as you want. Mainly because it has to be that way because it's the original access control. Before cards and card access came along, this was doing it, and it was keys and making different keys work different locks and making master keys fit groups of locks and stuff like that. So, a school system each school would have its own master. Each, group of schools would have their own master. And stuff like that.
Comes in layers.
Yeah.
You got people at the very bottom that can only get in that single individual building. You can tie it down to a single door.
Mm-hmm.
And then one person with a single key could get in everything.
If you've got somebody that only needs to get into their office and they only come in, when the building is already unlocked, they don't need to do any kind of opening or closing. They're just coming in during the work day and leaving during the work day. Then they only really need to open their office, so their key would only fit their office. So making a master key system, and this is something that we are trying to make better, and we're trying to do better with it, is we've been keeping master key records since 1979 maybe. We'll give it that 1 year, not knowing what we're doing.
I found one in our files. I found one from 1979.
That's incredible. But we keep all the records, and so we keep all the records for you or for the customer, and that means when they need something rekeyed, we can just go to the very next change and rekey that lock to the very next change, so you can lock out your old tenant or whatever. But we keep all those records, and
even if you're not using the key anymore, we know it's been used.
Yep, we know it's been used. We know not to key anything to that in the future, just in case you didn't get your keys back.
Which happens every day.
Yes, every day somebody quits and doesn't turn in their key.
Or moves.
So anyway, we keep all the records, and this used to happen on paper. It was literally pieces of paper, pieces of graph paper in a manila file folder and in a file cabinet. Now, granted, we're still going to keep the files, the paper files and file cabinet mainly for a backup. So if anything goes down, I mean, this is something that we are storing on our network and in our databases and stuff like that. So we're keeping a paper record of everyone's master key system, and that goes back to, you know, having something tangible that goes along with that. But we are trying to upgrade them. How's that been going?
We're getting there. It is time consuming, but once it's done, I mean, the processes that go into it will be a lot quicker. Finding files, finding keys, seeing everything right there in front of you rather than digging through 40 pieces of paper. It will be a lot better. Being
able to send that out with the tech on the road will be a lot better too. And it's just, you know, and you're not trying to read handwriting.
Yeah, that's another thing.
So
especially when you got 4 or 5 people making master key files at one point. I mean, we've got files that were made by employees that don't work here, and because it was so specific to them, there was no standard format.
Moving those over to the new software will be fantastic for that.
Yeah.
And the main thing is not having to try to read, people's handwritings.
Because I know mine is awful.
So is mine. I mean, look at this right here.
Yeah, good luck looking at that. You'll never know what we're looking at right now.
No one would know. So just what is a master key system? I don't know if you can see this or not, but it kind of gives you a breakdown. So the key at the very top, that's the Grandmaster, and that's going to fit all 6 of those doors. I can see the doors, so the top master key, that's going to fit all 6 of those doors.
Let me try.
And then there's like a submaster, and that would fit that pair of doors. And then you've got an individual key that fits every one of those doors. So that's basically how a master key system works. The beautiful outdoors. Yeah, it's a pun. I'm very punny. I know. So anyway, we work on, that goes into what we do with life safety. And this is exit bars, hinges, primarily exit bars. I got to get out of that sun. That's ridiculous. So anyway, to keep your panic bars and everything, regular maintenance is what is needed. And I'm way over here in the corner, mainly because I don't want to get a sunburn on my neck.
Unprotected.
Yeah. I need SPF 15 right here.
Give me a splash. Protect me from the sun.
So anyway, fire doors. So there's fire doors in like hotels, fire doors in nursing homes, stuff like that. And those just where you have a long hallway or a long corridor, and you have to, so if there's a fire breaks out, they automatically will close and latch and keep that fire from spreading throughout the building. And so they go through a lot more rigorous tests than just regular exit bars and panic hardware. Moving on to video surveillance. So we've got a new partnership, and I announced that first, or like one of the first things here, that Eagle Eye Networks, we just partnered with them, and that's basically cloud-based video surveillance. And what we can do with that is we can tie that into your access control. And video takes up a lot of bandwidth. So that also takes up a lot less bandwidth than a normal video surveillance system. So a normal surveillance system is storing all your video clips on a hard drive on the recorder.
On site.
On site. So when you want to remotely view, if you want to remotely view 3 or 4 cameras at once, you want to watch the front door, you want to watch the parking lot, and you want to watch, you know, the inside showroom or something like that, that's taking up a lot of bandwidth. And so Eagle Eye Networks, because you're viewing that, you know, remotely on a cloud-based server, it's cutting your bandwidth in half, basically, or more. That's about it. So the contact information, you're not going to be able to read that.
It's there, though.
It's there, I promise. So we did add Josh into this, and move your head over. He's the sloth right there. We used.
Fun.
That's it.
I'm happy with being a sloth. I probably shouldn't say that.
No, that doesn't make our business sound very.
I'm the trash man. I like to eat trash.
That would be a raccoon.
No, Danny DeVito. Always Sunny.
Oh, okay.
He's doing the wrestling, but he's like, "I'll come out there. I'll throw trash all over the ring," and then I start eating it.
So anyway, I started blasting. Okay, that's it. Let's go home, folks.
Bye.